Welcome to the Rockwell Collins Amateur Radio Club meeting. Only 4 times a year, so we don't overburden you with just meetings, although I think they're kind of interesting. So we'll go around the room. I'm Charlie, KC0CD.
Agnes, KB0EHC.
Al, K0HWE.
Dan, WB0RJK.
Bill, WB0Kx3.
L, K0, Victor Mike.
I'm Bill in Zero, Illinois, your secretary, and I guess if you want to give me dues, I'll take care of that too. We'll get them to Brian.
Brett, W0FMS.
Ron, KD0EH.
Larry, K0MTM.
Bob, KW0O.
Larry, AB0QS.
Milo, KD9CJ9.
I'm Steve, WA0 EOQ. I had to pause there because it's a new handle for me. I just got a vanity call sign a couple days ago. So I'm trying to learn how to use it.
I'm Tim, KC0 Delta November. Tim, KC0 Sierra. Mike, Alpha Charlie 0 Delta.
Henry, KD0
Don, WA0.
Al, KA0IES.
Kathy, KE0AOA.
Vince, KI6KSW.
Mike, 0KB.
Vince, November 2 Alpha India Echo.
Tom, KD0HF.
Aaron, K0GT.
Joe, WB0INL.
Nathan, K0DPG.
And
Lloyd, WA0IK.
and you are A0IM. All right. Brian McCoy is not here. He went home. He didn't want to come here and infect everybody. And I said, that's a good idea. We appreciate that. One comment about the retiree station access list. The volume is nice here. Let's move that down just a wee. There's going to be some folks retiring between now and the end of the year, so make sure you get that form to me so I can get your name on the list and get it submitted to security before the end of the year, just so that you can get to the club over the vacation. All right, October is officer election month, as per the Constitution. So now is your opportunity to stand up and say, I want to be treasurer to handle all the big bucks that we get, or secretary, or I'm thinking anybody on the board is willing to be displaced if you want to be, if you want to take it. Crickets. Lloyd is volunteering. Yeah, I saw him raise his hand.
I second the nomination.
All in favor? Pow! Wow, that's how railroading works.
That's really going to help get volunteers.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
You need a new tactic.
All right. So next, this is the current officer list. And so if anybody wants to volunteer to second or help or whatever, we can certainly make use of that. New stuff around the station. If you do something around the station, let me know so I can put that on the list and submit that to Rockwell, so that the bigger the list, the more that we're doing. If you hadn't, I was going to print out some but forgot to. The report that we give once a year, we had about 3,000 volunteer hours is what we submitted to Rockwell. So that really looks good when they're saying, well, who are we going to give money to? I will say they haven't broken open the checkbook yet this year, but they have the report. The equipment is being borrowed, meaning there's a list of equipment that you can borrow, Go Kits and D-Star handheld radios if you want to borrow those. Got a few things we've added to the list here that you can borrow to tune up your own antenna, that kind of thing. And that's a good thing. Show that we're using it. Okay, no response yet. I don't know if you knew this, but last August we submitted for the Charter of Affiliation. So now our it's interesting, our Constitution said that we would be affiliated with the ARRL. And that was written, what, 30 years ago? And we have not been. So I went through the effort last year to submit, and there it is. Kay Craigie signed the thing, and we're officially in. This is now down at Main Plant. So, and there's one other thing that we can subscribe to in ARRL, which doesn't cost any money in this case. Don't remember what it is, but Rod suggests we go ahead and go for that one, so I'll do that also. One thing, I'm going to hang one of these at each one of the stations. So when you're operating with N0CXX or W0CX, put a pin in the thing, and we'll see if we can get a WAS going for the club stations, which, you know, is something to do while you're there. So what's happened? The Whisper station is up and running. So if you go just search for WSPR, you get the map, and you type N0CXX, and it'll tell you what 4 watts and a vertical antenna will do for you. Now, it is true, this is Whisper, and it's quite a bit encrypted. That is, you'll see reports if you go to the database part of that website that guys are hearing us at minus 26 dB below the noise floor. So that doesn't mean just because some guy on the East Coast can hear that station at 4 watts, that your 100 watts is going to get to somebody on the East Coast on sideband, because there's not much encryptation on sideband. But it's information that we have there. Okay, I don't know if you've been up there, but these microphones, you know, nice Heil microphones, but had the bungee cords on them dried out, and they were kind of hanging down. So yes, I fixed it. Well, I bought new bungee cords. I said, you know, I searched for the bungee cord for Heil mics, and they were like $4 each. So I got 2 of them, and they're now fixed. If you want the old bungee cords, they're laying up there, all stretched out and tired.
Because you can't throw them away.
No. Why would you do? Maybe somebody could figure out some use for them. They only had 2, or I would have bought some.
Well,
you would have. They would dry out also. You'd have to keep them in a refrigerator somewhere or something so the rubber wouldn't die. One thing, in the back, it looks like this. Right up here, let me see now, where is the thing? Right here is what I added. Well, there were 12-volt wires hanging all over the place also. So I've taken out all those extensions and all that kind of thing and added this 15 position. Now, why it's upside down is because it's got these little nifty lights, and it's got a, you know, this is over voltage and right and under voltage. So if something's happening, you can run around the back and have a look at it. But so over half of them are being used. Okay. So this just for your information, this right here happens to be 220. Right down there so you can walk upon it. I was up on the roof, and the little boot there that holds the vertical is open right here. The rain can run in. But the box is up here, so the rain just runs out the bottom, but it still should be replaced. Keeps it from twisting. What needs to be done out there? Basically, Tom and I are in the process of replacing the monobanders that were up on the roof with dual band verticals. The S band or the S line transmitter doesn't work. So if somebody wants to volunteer to work on that, that would be really nice. The receiver, when you turn the tuning, it kind of goes and then doesn't go. So that needs to be tightened up. And the HF, D-Star, we're talking about a way to get the HF station remoted. Probably not on campus. We'll do that at some remote site, but you'll still access it through the internet, through Ham Radio Deluxe on your laptop and a headphone and microphone, so you'll be able to access a radio. Ground strap, so there's lots of things to do. Still need some 5S up there. This here, I updated this. This was posted up there. We have now, I went out and purchased some more power poles, and we got this nifty crimper. I will say that if you take one of the 30, these are 30 amp here, and these are 45, and you put it here, but you only have like 22 size wire, or 20, and it won't work. It won't crimp it enough. Get them all stuffed in there, and then the wire comes out. Say, oh, phooey. Okay, so the idea is that you can purchase the cable, the 10 gauge or the 12 gauge. We have a bunch of ICs, and so, you know, you don't have to run off and buy it all yourself. We have it there. This will be posted beside there. There's the magic can. Put money in this can.
Which bench is that on, Charlie?
That's in the cabinet as you walk through the door. It's right there. And 112.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. As one of the, somebody went silent key and they had an estate sale. So I saw this and I said, well, you know, it's a good deal. And anybody that's used one, they're about $400 new if you go out to MFJ. And yes, it's MFJ, but still. We got it for $175. Now this particular thing, it was seen going down the road with legs on it. We had one about 5 years ago and it disappeared. So we finally got around to replacing it. Please, if you want to check it out, that's fine. But bring it back. Like this right here, 2 of these were donated to the club. We only have 1 now. And I took it, the second one, down to main plant, going to set it up down there, was still in the box. And box and radio are now gone. So if somebody borrowed it, you know, that's fine. I'm glad people are using it, but it does belong to the club. So, all right, next thing. Yes. I label them, yes, but if you walk out and you don't know that you got it at the club station, we got more of a problem than just labeling. But yes, I have all the equipment labeled. So the one that was up at North Station is now down at main plant. This is the back of the rack we have at main plant. And these, boy, doesn't that look nice? There is a panel on the outside of the building on the other end of these wires that take all the information, the rotor and the control for the antennas and the satellite control will all go outside the building via these wires. And the beauty of it is these wires go through the Jeep lab, which is locked, we can't get into. So we don't need to because the panel is on the outside of the building. So we can get to that. And then the other things we added was I had it set up so that the MFJ antenna tuner, dual needle thing, would show your SWR if you happen to look over there at it. The problem is that cross needle thing is not really readable. So we've added one of these from the estate sale. Very nice. VSWR is 1.63, 18 watts out. This is on the...
That's really helpful if you're a person like me whose neck is not more than 5 feet long, so you can see the front of the MFG.
Right.
While you're sitting at the radio.
So it's nice. You can use that. There is a tuner over there, and so you can tune up the 80 meter dipole if you want, or 75 meter dipole to some other frequency. And now to run off into new business, possible new business. It's interesting. Right now, according to Sherwood, the Flex radio is the best ham radio in the world. Probably beats out some military radios, I would guess. The L-Craft with their updated front end comes in second. This is a $20,000 German radio right here. Probably not many of those. We have one of these, we have one of these, and we have one of these. So our equipment is right up there in the top. Well, one thing that, you know, in checking out and people borrowing the equipment, they'll take that Kx3 and you're hearing folks real well, but it puts out about, you know, 4.5 watts on the internal batteries. So if you're running digital modes, well, that might work, which you can. I've got the little adapter box, so you can set that up with your laptop to run FL Digi. But if we were to add a little power, we could move up to here. Well, that's still not as good as that one, but there's two possibilities out there. This one was reviewed last December in QST. It is a kit. It comes with a board, and it looks like this. Bare board. They have mounted the surface mounted parts. So the through board and the coils and all the rest of that, you put together. So that's, and it is interfaces to the L-Craft, the Kx3. 5 watts in, you get 50 watts out. Okay, that's one. The second is L-Craft's solution. Now they put out 100 watts. Really nifty. You have a built-in SWR bridge here, and it shows you your power out, up to 110 watts. So that's is a second solution. So what's the pain? Well, they'll sell that to you for $300, and if it's going to be something that you take out in the field, we really ought to put the antenna tuner with it. And the antenna tuner's $180. That's one solution. The other one is this one. The internal tuner is $320. The amplifier itself is $700. A couple of cables. So $1,100. So either amp can be configured. So if you have an 817, you could check out just the amp.